The Schwab Fundamental International Large Co. Index ETF, FNDF, is an exchange-traded fund, ETF, that tracks the performance of the Russell RAFI Developed ex-U.S. Large Company Index. The ETF is managed by Charles Schwab Investment Management and seeks to provide investors with exposure to a diversified portfolio of large, international companies that are selected based on their fundamental strength and growth potential. The ETF is designed to provide investors with a broad exposure to the international market, with a focus on large companies that are expected to have strong fundamentals and growth prospects. The ETF is rebalanced annually and includes companies from developed markets outside of the United States, such as Europe, Asia, and Australia. The ETF uses a fundamental indexing approach, which means that companies are selected for inclusion in the index based on factors such as revenue, cash flow, and dividends, rather than market capitalization. This approach is intended to provide investors with a more diversified portfolio that is less susceptible to market volatility. FNDF has a low expense ratio of 0.39%, which is lower than the industry average. This makes it an attractive option for investors looking for a cost-effective way to gain exposure to international large-cap stocks. The ETF has a diversified portfolio of around 400 companies across different sectors and geographies. The top holdings include companies such as Nestlé SA, Toyota Motor Corp, and Royal Dutch Shell. The ETF has a relatively high yield of around 2.2%. FNDF has performed well in recent years, outperforming its benchmark index and the MSCI EAFE index, which tracks developed markets outside of the United States. However, like any investment, past performance is not a guarantee of future results, and it's important to consider your own risk tolerance and investment goals before investing in FNDF or any other ETF. In conclusion, FNDF is an ETF that provides investors with exposure to a diversified portfolio of large, international companies selected based on their fundamental strength and growth potential. It's a cost-effective option for investors looking to gain exposure to international markets and has a relatively high yield. However, it's important to consider your own risk tolerance and investment goals before investing.